I just bought a brand new 060 because apparently I don't have enough locomotives yet. I was scrolling through eBay the other day and I found this 060 listed for pretty cheap for one of these Proto ones, and it looked essentially brand new. It has the box, the paperwork, everything to go along with it, and just judging by the wheels themselves, I've run this a little bit, but they look spotless. It looks like this thing has never been run before, which is great. This specific model is a Seaboard Airline one. I've never owned another piece of Seaboard equipment, so it's kind of nice to have a new railroad, especially with an engine this nice. I have been acquiring a fair amount of East Coast rolling stock and whatnot, so this thing should have some pretty good cars to pull. Well, this thing is in fact new. I have already done a few very small modifications, the first of which is I've installed Katie's. This thing came with some like Bachmann Easy Mate knockoffs or something, which I didn't like, so I just threw on some nice Katie's, and they seem to work really well. They do their jobs great. And other than that, this engine is completely stock. I've done nothing to it, and it looks great as it is. I've looked at some real-world photos of these 060s, and they all seem to be pretty dusty, but they do all seem to match up detail-wise, which is really nice. The only detail I don't really like is that this cable going to the bell is, like, really far out. I don't know of any easy way to fix it. I don't really like the way it looks, but it seems like from some other pictures I've seen, that's kind of how the cable rests. It bugs me, but apparently it's somewhat correct. Another really small detail I like on this thing is that these side windows can actually move. I don't know if I'll be able to move it really easily. There it goes. But they do in fact move, which is really cool. It's also kind of hard to tell with the lighting, but the cab interior on this thing looks really good as well. You probably could add a little bit to it, but I'm not going to mess with it that much because I think it looks great as it is. I don't really have many concerns with this engine, aside from one big mechanical concern, but since I have already tried it out and ran it, I don't really have any concern right now. It's cracked gears, because these Proto engines are really notorious for having cracked gears. This one doesn't, but I've heard it a lot on diesels and some of the steamers, and I've heard on steam engines like this, it's a real nightmare to fix, so I really don't want to have to deal with that. Another thing, as some of you may have seen, I actually have another really nice, well, somewhat nice 060 that I bought recently, which is this brass one. This one I've done a lot of work to. I put in a new motor, it's got a nice decoder, it's got some good wiring and everything, but I think the new Proto 2000 one's actually better, maybe a little more accurate. I still kind of want to keep this brass one around, but I'm not 100% sure what exact purpose I'll have for it. I want to do something with it, but with this thing, this kind of overshadows it. I could use this as like a practice brass repainting project or something. I could try weathering it, detailing it much further. I don't know. If anyone's got any suggestions for this thing, please let me know. So now it's time for me to go back in time and show you the clip of me running this thing when I first got it and ripped it out of the box. And that seems to run perfectly. It's even got a reversing light too, that's pretty neat. I don't know if I'll have to mess with the lights for DCC or whatnot. I will figure it out, but I'll probably come back in just a moment once this thing has a decoder installed and we're on a layout with DCC. Alright, after that test run, I have noticed a few things. I've run it since filming the beginning of this video. The headlights on this thing no longer work. Don't know why. They worked in that one clip, and they have never worked again. And now I put a decoder in it, so who knows. We'll see if the lights work. If not, you'll see clips with it running without headlights, and if they don't, I'll probably just need to replace them. That's what the manual said you should do anyway if you're going to put DCC in the things. So they're probably already dead. I want to figure out exactly what lights I should put in the thing. If anyone has any suggestions, please let me know. But now I'll be back in just a moment, and we'll get this thing, probably some boxcars, and just have it run around the club's layout. So that's my new Proto 2000 060. I think everything about this locomotive is nearly perfect. The only thing that really bugs me is this cable, and all that's really left to do is to give it some new lighting, which even if the lights didn't burn out, I was going to replace them anyway. They didn't look that great. And I also want to add some sound to it at some point and maybe try weathering it. But as it is, it's a great locomotive for me, and it'll get plenty of use.